kick it off.
Welcome back to This Works For Us. It has been a long minute and we've missed you guys.
And don't ask us what happened because
A lot. It was a lot.
life happened. That's what happened.
I'm Tia Jackson.
And I'm Rashawn, better known as Sean. Yeah, I'm rusty right now. It's been, good Lord.
And we're the Jacksons.
Couple months.
Yeah, I don't know,
It has.
maybe 4 weeks.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. We thought we'd kick off this episode in celebration of our 10-year anniversary.
Season 10, baby.
Yes.
10 years in this joint.
We are a decade in.
And I don't even know. It don't even feel like it, truthfully. Like, granted, there's a lot has happened in the past 10 years, but it really don't feel like it's been 10 years.
It truly doesn't. I mean, outside of just our family dynamics changing, and obviously God blessing us tremendously over this last 10 years, I mean, it feels like, like I almost just got here in Texas,
Well, technically this month makes 10 years before you've been here, and then the next month will make 11 years. Because obviously there was a little gap when I first got here. She couldn't come when I first came out here. So I was out here basically 11 months before you was able to get here.
Yeah, I don't know how many months it was.
You know, I'm the one with time, remember, so I remember the dates and stuff.
But I thought I'd share something pretty cool about in celebration of our 10 years.
10 years.
So, those of you who don't know, when Sean and I were in Jacksonville, Florida, at some point we attended the same church.
Yeah, for a little bit.
But I did not feel like I was receiving from that pastor at the time. And so a coworker that I work with invited me to another church. And so I started to go to that church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the month or when I started. Anyway, I wanted to share as we were cleaning up our office and in preparation for some things we're doing. I found this, just so y'all know I'm not lying. Look how it's old, y'all. It's old. It was a prophecy that the pastor of that church had prophesied over my life, and it's dated June 28th of 2011. Sean and I were married November 21st of 2011.
Yeah, and then some more background to this. So even during this time, June 28th, we were actually separated. We were not together, dating at that time.
Always remain friends.
Always remain friends, but we were not technically together. It was, we had enough drama prior to marriage, and it.
Probably why our marriage is drama free, because we had enough prior to marriage. But anyway, so as I was going and cleaning up some things, the prophecy says that my driver's license was going to change.
I think that came true.
And then it also said that I was going to have a physical and spiritual move, a transition.
I think that came true.
And then it said with the move, better things would come, and that, it's not the one, but there were two. There was one in June and one in July.
Yeah.
So it mentioned leaving old things behind, and there were better days ahead. Well, then the second prophecy talks about how, my last name is going to change, and how I'm going to meet someone that has the letter J.
I don't know what that means. The letter J. Could y'all help me out? Can you say letter J? What does it stand for?
Jackson. Anyway.
Hello.
So it was pretty cool to look back on, the prophecy and how, all of it pretty much came to fruition. He talked about moving boxes and all of these wonderful things. And obviously, if, Sean was saying that we weren't together in June, so there were no plans of,
None of that.
marriage or engagement.
None of that stuff popping up.
So I didn't know what the heck that man was talking about. I knew that I was getting out of Jacksonville, Florida, because I wanted to, but I had no idea what was ahead. So I thought that was pretty cool to just look back on, what was prophesied in our life and what came to fruition and how a blessing it's been.
And I think too, like a lot of times we'll say, obviously we're talking about how we, been married for 10 years. And the thing that people will say, or they don't really think about when they say, stop and think about what God has done for you in your life. So when you actually take time to think about all the things that he's done, because we're so caught up in the moment of now, we're like, yeah, he did this, but no, if you really stop and think about what he's done, especially for us, it is flat out amazing. The type of experiences we've had, the blessings we've received during this 10-year time, even prior to that. So it is just, it's just a small testimony to what, God has been doing in the middle of our lives. Especially, like I said, it's been drama-free for 10 years. Yes. I don't know how many times we've said it. No arguments, no yelling or nothing like that. Nobody's angry with each other. None of that. It's just, we might get angry at the kids. Right? But them jokers are
so. They get angry, they just test our patience.
I get angry. I'd be upset. But anyway, well,
they just test our patience. But we had 5 good years that was just the 2 of us.
The sad part is I don't really remember what we
didn't stop to enjoy that. I love having our children and I love everything about being a mom, but you don't realize what
I don't know what life was like.
Relaxation or just doing what you want to do when you want to do it feels until you can't do that anymore.
It is a lost art right now. I don't know what we did prior to these kids. We'd come home, chill, felt like we had all the time in the world in the evening to digress from work. Now it is
time go.
I
don't know, where does our week go really? I mean, it's
everything.
It's really chaotic. But anyway, if you had to say, how people ask, what makes your marriage work, or how did you last this long, or whatever the question is that they ask, what's the secret?
Well, first of all, it's definitely keeping everything centered around God. We make sure we have that as the primary focus of our relationship. We also made sure, and it just really flowed. I mean, I can't even really explain how smooth this relationship, this marriage flows. Like there's no assigned roles. Obviously, you've heard us talk about these things before. It works. I can't even explain how easy it is. You hear all the time about people arguing about silly stuff. I was in Burlington one day and I heard a couple behind me. They're arguing about gas. Well, you had my car last. You need to put gas in it. I was like, why y'all arguing over gas? Just we have our gas budget, and if we are, we have different separate vehicles, but although separate vehicles, it's not like
it's not like one is really yours and the other one.
Right.
Like,
it's just
yes.
If we need gas, we just put gas in the car. Like that, you seen that one guy on the TikTok? He don't say anything. He just put the gas in the car. Easy.
I would say that for us, there is no secret, right? Like for us, you know, again, this works for us, right? So I think being authentic, being genuine to who we are, appreciating each other for who we are, and not trying to change that.
And know your spouse. Know your spouse.
Absolutely. Knowing your spouse, I think, is key.
Can't put unexpected expectations on a person. Like I'll sit here every day and tell you that I personally don't want to be waited on like hand and foot all the time. That's just not me. That's just always been my thing.
And you know what? That's why God was like, y'all need to be together, right? Because that's not who I am. And not that she don't do any of that stuff. But I know some of y'all be like, oh, well, dang, well, who doing that? She doesn't. Yeah,
I'd rather, you know, it be done obviously from her heart. It doesn't need to feel like it's a job that she has to do. Because if you know, we serve each other, meaning that there's selflessness. I think I said that right. There's no self involved. I give myself to her, she gives herself to me. It's not about just me. I look forward to serving my wife, loving on her, things that I don't expect, you know, hey, because I love you, that means you need to, you know, make my plate every time. Or
well, I think it's, you know, just in relation to, like, you know, how God loved the church, right? You're supposed to love your spouse the same way. And so you die to self every day that you decide to serve Christ, right? And so it's the same thing. It's not that your wants or your needs don't matter, but you put the other person
first, basically, in the sense.
First. And then I feel like happiness comes with that. Like, you know, I don't do it and then feel like, oh, well, he don't appreciate it, or he doesn't.
Does it feel like a burden?
I also think, like, understanding, you know, in terms of, you know, understanding your spouse and who you married, and I think there is something to those love languages, right? You know, it just goes back to knowing your spouse, like knowing what they need from you, whether it's, you know, words of affirmation, or, you know, gifts, or you know, quality time.
I don't think either one of us have gifts as a love language. Is unfortunate. No, well, technically it's fortunate. You can save a little money. But I'd say the gift, I guess, would be the stuff that we like to do together, if that makes sense. Like we, you know, getting a couple things done to the house. So, you know, our gifts go into the house, what we want to do here. That if that had to be a love language, then that's both of us from that point. But far as gift giving, we are trash.
We are trash. We typically don't do like anniversary gifts, Christmas gifts. Sometimes we'll do birthday gifts.
Yeah, sometimes. But a lot of times we just get it throughout the year, whatever we want, or whatever it's. Again, you know, there's certain things we want to do. Hey, I saw these, I want to give them. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with
giving
gifts or getting gifts, if that's what makes you happy.
Yeah, again, this works for us. But you know, back to the, you know, love languages and stuff. So we kind of understand that with knowing your spouse again. So there's nothing that I want to do to, you know, hinder or make her feel unloved at any time. I don't think there's been a time matter of fact, I know there hasn't been a time, unless you know, this is breaking news now, that you felt unloved in our marriage.
All the time.
That's a bald face. But anyway, but these 10 years have just really been a true blessing, to where, you know, you will hear a lot of people say, you know, far when it comes to marriage, they're like, man, that ain't for me. I'm not, and it may not be for you. That's on you. Just like they say, you know, college ain't for everybody. Marriage obviously is not for everybody too. But for the ones that, you know, that dedicate themselves to it and, you know, honor God in it, praise Him all the time, and we see you just see the fruit that's manifested from it.
I would say that one of the things that we do that I would say that makes our marriage fun, and I don't know that we try to do it, but whenever there is something, and I think we kind of got a glimpse of it when, like, in the first couple of episodes, when, you know, Sean talked about me losing my phone or not having it. It got better. I mean, it's not anywhere near perfected. It's a work in progress, okay, but it's getting better. But what we tend to do is make jokes about things like that, so it becomes like a running joke in our house. So a prime example is so Sean orders the groceries online, and he always finds this inconvenient time to say, you want to look over the grocery list, right? I could be cleaning toilets, and here he come with the phone, talk about, do you want to look over the grocery list? I am in the middle of cleaning the toilet. Does it look like I want to look at the grocery list? Anyway, so even though at the moment it's like, are you serious? It becomes a joke in the house. So now, anytime either one of us does anything that's inconvenient to the other, we'll just say, grocery list. So it's like a key word to say. If you don't get out of here with that right now, I'm busy.
I still don't pay attention to it because I think we had mentioned this before, but if there is something on that grocery list that we didn't get, well, then we're just gonna have to wait another 2 weeks, unless obviously we need it. But trying to get it now, I don't really want to go back. Ever since they've done curbside, I'm all for it. I ain't got to go in the store. You don't like grocery stores anyway.
I'm allergic.
Well, you said your grandmother, you know, unfortunately tortured with that, so
Yeah.
that's on you. But to just shop online and get all the stuff that you need,
even if it means waking me up out of my sleep to say, oh, look at this grocery list. Because it has to be ordered.
It has to be done
at that moment.
Yeah, because there's a specific time that I wanted, you know, to pick it up. Right? Yes, right. So, what would you say in these 10 years? I know we talked about how, you know, how easy and flowing it's been. What would you think may have been the, I don't know, maybe the hardest challenge to deal with or to maybe overcome?
I don't know if it's like necessarily marriage related. I think there was just, you know, obviously growth for the both of us, and I think more so like in our careers and getting established in our lives, you know, wanting to do things that we couldn't do at, you know, certain times just because we were, you know, both getting our careers off the ground. And so I think, you know, for me, you know, he calls me the CFO. So for me, I'm very much budget conscious and, you know, all about the spreadsheet and the finances. And so I think, you know, that was probably a rough time, specifically for me, because it took me a little bit longer to get where I wanted to be. But I think, I've always felt supported at home. Like, it wasn't like you were like, man, you need to make some more money, or you need to, I never felt like, I was less than, or, it was always like, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine.
Don't even worry like that. We already established the one bank account that we have.
Yes.
That's already, no, that. Now when it comes to the clothes, socks, and stuff like that.
Nobody's talking about that.
Doesn't matter.
Nobody's
Stop wearing my
talking.
socks, my shirts, everything. I want something to myself.
We're one.
Last I checked, them socks is men's socks.
So they fit.
Those are my socks. Anywho, to your point of the getting our careers, I think maybe time management to a certain extent
Has been our struggle.
Yeah, somewhat with certain things, especially now with the kids and stuff. I mean, you think about what it took to really kind of get to do this video right now.
I don't know. I feel like I be trying to put a schedule in place. I be trying all these tactics, and I feel like just now we barely get out the, we get out the house on time. I make it to work by 9 o'clock. They get to school on time. So, it's not perfect.
It's just the evenings. It's really the evening.
Yeah, I just think by the time you get home from work and you're mentally drained, and then the kids got, energy, lots of it. Bedtime, dinner, it gets hectic. I guess we could meal prep. Yeah, we tried that.
We tried it. It don't work for us.
It doesn't work for us.
Because we'll do something like that, and then I'd say one of us, because I'm gonna take the bullet too, but
one of us. He's talking about me, y'all. I don't do well with leftovers after a day.
Like, fam, eat this food.
I don't want to eat the same thing 3 days in a row and then take it to lunch.
Well, that's why I said it don't work.
It don't work.
It don't work. Meal prep. Oh, you have to do this. What? You should make soup and freeze it. No. First of all, we're not eating soup like that. No.
Everybody has room for growth. Everybody has room for growth. And we are not perfect by any means. But yes, that is our struggle. We struggle getting out the house on time for
but we say it's not that bad. It's people that's way worse with,
Yeah, we're not like hourly.
Yeah, we're not like that, but it's just, we know it could be better, for as getting out of the house on time.
I can tell you right now, on the weekends, it's me. I will take 100% of the blame because I do not want to get out that bed. I do not. And it does not help that Kennedy is very much like me in that sense. So you should see her in the morning when it's time to eat breakfast and get up and get dressed.
Oh, she's stubborn. Stubborn little jerk. Stubborn
I just feel like, God, help me out. Help me out. I would love to wake up at 5 in the morning and have all the energy in the world like Sean and Kylie, but I don't.
I'm gonna be
not the way you created me.
You know why I get up?
You don't wake up at 5. But if you had to wake up at 5,
I'll get up.
Be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
That is military training. Okay, we had to do that in the military.
Well, I don't have none of that.
But that all started when I was a baby.
So
the whole Jackson family got up early. Breakfast was ready like 6 o'clock. Granny used to Granddad was getting ready to go to work. We were getting ready to go to like school. We would leave from my mom's house, go to my grandmother's house. Breakfast was already made. This is during the weekday.
Well, praise God to y'all. It wasn't my life nor my story.
But we can make it that. So if we can just come to an agreement to
I would have to
wake
go
up.
to bed at like 7 o'clock.
You just about do that now. What you talking about?
I feel like judgment.
It is. It sure is.
First of all, I do not go to bed at 7 o'clock.
Listen. Let me tell you.
Sometimes I go to bed early.
Let me tell you what
The
happened.
kids don't even go to bed at 7 o'clock. How am I going to
That's
bed
what
at
I'm gonna
7
say.
o'clock?
Let me tell you. So what happens is, right? We'll put the kids to bed. 8:30. By that time, somebody mosey on down. Or if they already like if I'm putting them to bed, she already laying in the bed. I come down maybe 8:30, 8:45. Somebody's calling hogs already.
First of all, let's talk about this. Let's back up here a little bit. This is not even what this episode is about.
It's not, but we're gonna talk about it.
So, talking about somebody is calling hogs.
Oh no, don't do that.
It takes him literally 2.5 seconds to fall asleep. So it takes me a while to get comfortable, to get relaxed, and then fall asleep. We having a whole conversation, and you have a quick 2-second pause, and next thing you hear is So I don't want to talk about falling asleep for 2.5 seconds. You have to be up there for at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes for me to have already fallen asleep. Unless I was exhausted.
Look, them Lifetime Christmas movies, Hallmark movies, or whatever the case be, watching you.
Whatever. Maybe if he watched some of them Hallmark Christmas movies with me.
We've said this. I've said this.
Then
we know what's gonna happen. John is on a ladder, hanging up lights. Christina comes. He slips off the ladder, breaks a leg, arm, something. They're in the hospital.
Listen. See,
and 2 minutes after that, they fall in love.
This is where knowing your spouse matters, right? Because I will sit down with my spouse and watch a movie that he has chosen. But my spouse won't sit down and watch the movie with me.
I watch your series shows, some of those.
Some of them. Or you pop in and ask 600 questions.
I pop in and that's how I know the whole... I know
or
the whole
then he's
series.
talking about what happened to the so. If you would have watched the show with me, you wouldn't be asking about what happened to so and so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I accept that he doesn't watch my Christmas movies, and he only pops in and out of my series shows.
Cause you a binge watch. I can't binge watch like that. Binge. Let me pronounce it because y'all be like, what you say? Binge watch. You said binge watch? Binge watch.
That's the whole purpose of like Netflix, Hulu, and all the rest of them. Like the fact that you could have all of your seasons uploaded and you could just watch it at one time. Like
I
that
get
is
it.
the whole point of it.
I get
And
it.
He wants to take. We going off tangent.
Yes, we are.
But you want to take 6 months to watch 2 seasons. I don't want to do that. I want to watch my season and get over with. And then I can go about my business and I don't have to watch TV for a while because...
But then you'll be looking for the next thing to...
Yeah, but I don't always find it. I could go months.
Shoot.
I could go months without watching a show.
Man.
Or, a show.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Anyway, y'all. It's time for bed.
It is.
And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with us.
Apologize for being a hot mess.
I've had people, we both had people that, hey, where's the video? Man, it's coming.
We trying, y'all.
We'll get back to it. Just
We got you. We're gonna be better.
And here's what's gonna happen. We probably got
It's a crazy.
This is a crazy
holiday season.
Yeah,
for
so
us.
there'll probably be. We'll have some guests in the house starting this weekend up until after Christmas. Yeah, after Christmas.
We will do our best to get on here and be consistent.
Yeah, we gotta get back to it. We'll
Just keep tuning in, and share and like, comment, and help us out.
Well, hope you enjoyed it.
And if you have any content that you'd like us to talk about, post it in the comments. We'll be happy to have a convo about it.
Yeah, don't ask how much money we make, because we don't make much.
What?
I don't know, I just feel like saying
God bless y'all.
that.
Have a good night.
Later. Oh, look at that. Told you, man, we won. Bye.